I'm Joe.
Hi, I'm Annette. We've been married for about
12 years?
12 years. Yeah.
Wow. 2019 have been a trying time for me in terms of my health-wise. I have a stroke in 2019, but thank God He have healed me good.
Like my mom also was undergoing chemo for her lymphoma, and it was during the critical period that she was trying to cope with the chemo, which was deteriorating her pretty much.
Yeah, quite true. I mean, during that time, it was such a difficult time. It's like we have two very young kids at home. We have like 5 and 7, then Anna has to take care of mom, has to take care of me, and she run to different hospital, to different clinics.
I think when we got the news, when Joe thought, we went in and he had the bleed. After that MRI, right, the doctor kind of broke the news to us that he had a tumor, likely, and asked whether we had young kids and how we're going to cope with that. And at that point in time, both of us were huddling up together.
Yeah, both of us was like hugging one another, crying, and I was thinking why me, It's like I young, healthy, and I was like, traveling a lot, and I don't feel a thing, just suddenly, all of a sudden, just why, there's a lot of questions.
And my first thought was, God, please help me, because how am I going to cope if, let's say, it's without Him? And we didn't know what the future holds. Yeah, so we kept praying now, and I remember crying my eyes out.
Yeah.
And Sophia, who's my close church friend, was there with me that night, and she comforted me the whole night. And Cynthia and Li Luang came along, and they were like really sisters of prayer.
And we are really grateful that we receive a lot of prayer. We receive, we ask Cynthia for prayer. Immediately you see the text messages from her, or all the prayer. It's like, wow, it's amazing.
It was seriously a divine intervention. I felt like how God showed Himself to be there when we needed Him. It's like that same day, I remember we were in a room that was really disruptive, because he was sharing a room with another patient, and he couldn't take the noise, and he was having a very humongous headache. And I needed to move him to a peaceful single room, and we managed to move that day. And just on that day, Pastor Boon Leong came along to pay a visit to Joe, and I was also having some decision-making issues on how to get him the right neurosurgeon to decipher and to determine what he has to go through, instead of something so invasive that we have been told that might happen. He might have to go through some lumbar puncture in his spine to draw out fluid, or draw out some blood from his skull, the brain even. The amazing thing, right, was that when Pastor Boon Leong was praying outside our room where Joe was, he prayed exactly for some direction from God on getting us a right neurosurgeon to make the right decisions. And he thought of somebody, and happened that somebody just appeared straight after our prayer at the nurse's counter, and he was Dr. Timothy, and he was looking for he was going to see another patient. Yeah, so he wasn't even planned to come and see Joe. And God put Pastor there so that he could recognize Dr. Timothy, and so that I could seek him for second opinion. So that was fantastic. I never thought of what other decision to make after that, so that was the way to go, and God made it clear to me. After that, Dr. Timothy gave us such reassuring words. He said, yes, he's a brother in Christ. I'll definitely come and give a second opinion. And finally, when he saw him, he gave us the news that no surgery is needed. And from the scans that I observed, it's not a tumor. So you need not go through any invasive operations or even any chemo at all. Yeah, so I mean, I can't imagine if it was another direction that we took. So thank God that He led us the right way. He showed us the path. Yeah.
At that moment, I've been calling out to Him, to God, that help me with this medication. I really don't know where am I now. I say I really need help. I asked God to decide for me, and I stopped and I had a biopsy. After the biopsy, they discovered that the drug has worked very well on that piece of specimen. So I was called up to take this new drug, which at present that I'm taking. He has given, somehow the wisdom to the doctors that is looking after me, the drug that is able to help me, to try on me.
Things are going well for me. I have a good recovery, and you look at me, I doesn't look like somebody who had a stroke. So then somewhere in September, suddenly I just have a seizure. So I think during that time, it came as a shock to us as well. I was, I almost didn't make it. She was telling me that my face had turned purplish, and
the amazing thing is God sent us people for help again. Yeah, so, and we're so blessed to have Pastor Go and living in the same level in our flat, just one door away. He came over to our room, and immediately he and his wife prayed for Joe unceasingly.
And I want to tell everyone that God is very real. He's always there. Don't give up. BOY, that is because of you. When I talk to God, I say, God, because of you, I'm here now, and I have everything. Because of you, I can breathe. Because of you, I can walk. I can do a lot of things that I've loved to do when I was ill that I couldn't do. And now He has put me back on my feet again and made me so strong.
During the initial period, it's like there's a lot of questioning going on. But as I move along, somehow it's just a strange, comforting, assurance that I felt daily right now. It's like we continue to pray. We have our strong support as well. Cynthia, Li Luang, sometimes they will just message us, how's things, and recently I have Pastor Thomas who messaged me, do you need any prayer now?
Yeah.
So we have a very strong support in the community, which we are really, really grateful for.
Yeah, and throughout this whole period, our SES Saturday evening service, our prayer group, we have a chat group, they are super supportive of us. Yeah, and they are always constantly praying, constantly asking us how is Joe, how's my mom, how am I, so I don't feel alone in throughout this whole period. It's like God is putting people in my every day so that I can go to them and seek help in any way. So I'm very thankful that God has given you good health now, and we're praying for you that you will continue to be healthy, and He's giving me that assurance that you're good.